Hello and welcome to the warehouse, my ibby shibbies. I'm Brad, aka your drama queen 1014, and welcome to another review slash recap of RuPaul's Drag Race Season 11, Episode 3. Now, my video is going to be a little all over the place, a little scrambled, because so is the episode. So we're just going to cut to the next day where they all come into the workroom. Ru comes in, looking fierce by the way, and we have another little mini challenge. So we're rewinding back in time in the 90s when Michelle Visage was in a girl group. So they had to get into drag real quick, up to a door to try to get in backstage to meet Michelle Visage. And the door had a little fishbowl camera, so they were peeking in the little peek hole. And basically what they had to do is be the most funny and stand out the most in trying to get backstage to meet Michelle Visage and the rest of the girl group. I agreed that Nina won. I don't know why Raja won. I thought Vanjie was really funny, and so was Akira. I would have definitely incorporated some 90s slang up in there, and I'm surprised no one did. After the mini challenge, then we get the maxi challenge, which is two groups with Nina and Raja. They have to do a televangelist TV program, and it's gonna be live. So no cuts, no other takes, just run and go with commercials. So after they pick the teams, they are instructed that they have to pick a pop diva to be the representative of God or the head of the church, because the whole concept is try to convert these people up into that religion and become the #1 fan of whatever pop diva they chose. So the girls split up, they're in the group. Group Nina decides to do Britney. They all collectively kind of come to a consensus, except Silky, not a surprise. She wanted to do Whitney, and everybody was kind of like, I don't know if we should do Whitney. They were all like, we shouldn't just do Whitney. So Silky was like, whatever, we'll do Britney. And then Team Raja over here, they collectively decided to come up with Mariah Carey. And then Ru comes in for his Ru visit and eventually gets over to Team Raja, and Ru's asking, hey, what is your knowledge, tell me what you're gonna bring to this challenge. And no one could tell her anything because no one knew anything about Mariah Carey, as would have I. I wouldn't really know anything had I been there either. I had no idea she calls her fans lambs. I'm not an avid Mariah Carey fan. So as Ru is trying to get up in there and try to throw them hints at what to do, they all kind of seem a little confused still. When Ru leaves, at this point, I would have done what Raja did not do, which was, yo, team, that fucking walkthrough went fucking terrible. We need to snatch it back up together, and fucking get our pussies together, and come to a consensus. Now she's like, no, we're already comfortable with doing Mariah, so we're just gonna stick with Mariah. Even if I wasn't the team captain, I would have still gotten up and said something. I'm like, yo, this is not a good idea. And if they didn't listen to me, I would have been like, oh, I told y'all we were gonna be here, but you didn't want to listen. When Ru was explaining what the maxi challenge was, I already automatically thought Tammy Faye Baker. That's the character I would have gone with. I was even telling my partner, as Ru was saying that, I was like, oh, Tammy Faye Baker, I got this challenge. So Team Nina was first, and Team Nina, Nina West was the host. Brooklyn Heights was another host. Then we had Miss Vanjie as the person who had converted over into that religion and now converts other people over. Then we had Evie Oddly and Mercedes as the people coming on to be converted. And then we had Ariel and Silky on the music. Now, I really thought this was a strong performance. I don't really need to say much if you saw it. I am gonna say, that shit was fucking funny when Miss Vanjie was, yes, yes, yes. Oops. Oh, my wig would have fell off, girl. Nina was giving me all those fucking Tammy Faye Baker isms, and I was here and living for it. Brooklyn and Mercedes were the weak links of the challenge, but I don't think they did quite as bad as the other team. Because Mercedes, she was pretty bad in that challenge. However, she wasn't as bad as most of the people on the other team. So they had their Britney-isms. Ariel and Silky did quite well together, even though they had this narrative that they don't like each other. And the hosts of that team was Sugarcane, Scarlet, Envy, and the person who had been converted into the Mariah Chapel was Plastique, and the person to come out to be converted was Akira, coming out like she was a Ariana Grande fan, which made no sense. And then on the music we had Honey and Raja, and as we all saw, that team was a train wreck from the beginning. Plastique, I don't know what she decided to do. I don't know if y'all heard, but she was going in and out of some accents. I heard at least like 3 accents up in there. I was like, what the fuck? And no one like called her out for that. They were definitely right that Suga was the strongest on the team, but it was really hard for her to even carry that team with so much failure on that team. So unfortunately, she looked like she did bad too. I'm not even gonna really get into Scarlet. She was pretty much doing the same thing as last week, being the dumb bimbo. And that Honey and Raja segment, girl. And then when they were all done and Ross was all like, I would suggest y'all bring it to the runway, I was like, damn. He just told y'all did a fucking shitty job. We get back into the workroom and they're all getting ready for the runway. Some of the girls were trying to get education, it seemed like to me, on the Muslim religion, because they kept asking Mercedes about it and she just completely ignored it, walked off. Her confessional showed it all, that she doesn't even want to talk about religion, which that's her choice. If she doesn't want to talk about it, don't hound her for that. I wouldn't. That's not my place. Girls that were asking about her religion should have just let her be. This is her platform. If she chooses to use this platform to share with the world about her religion and about herself, that's her decision, not theirs, not ours. I respect her decision. Then we get to Evie naked, painting her body in this like fuchsia or pinkish color, and her dick and balls were out and she was painting her dick and balls, and I'm like, what the fuck is she doing with this look? I was like, is she gonna come out on the runway just buck ass naked? But I thought it was funny how it made a lot of people uncomfortable. So then we get to the runway. I liked RuPaul's look. They kind of look a little, I don't know, Miss Reptile from Mortal Kombat. She just kind of needed like something here. It didn't fit the runway challenge, which I was confused about because I would have loved to see that thing in Fringe. Whew, yes. So then she introduces the judges, which are Michelle Visage, Ross Matthews, Guillermo Diaz, and Troy. Sorry about that, I completely forgot his name for a second. Then she introduces the runway is going to be Fringe. Shortly following this, I will be doing a Goob and Noob video for that runway. So after the runway, there's a clear winner. Team Britney, Team Nina, they are all safe. Now, I have one thing to say before I get into the critiques. I feel like they should have brought on a live audience when they were doing these TV programs, because most of the time when they put a live audience in front of the queens, they seem to react more to the crowd because the crowd interacts, cheers, laughs, or whatever. With these critiques, I mean, there was no really point for the critiques. They're all on the bottom. No one is safe. And then RuPaul gets to one of those golden questions. It's all like, who's to blame? So she starts going around asking everybody, who's to blame that your team did not succeed? Literally everybody collectively said We are all to blame. We should have stepped up. We should have all came to a different consensus. The only person that stood up was Miss Honey. Now, she wasn't the team captain. As I said before, if I was on that team and not team captain, I would have definitely stood up and said, yo, we need to fucking get this shit together because we can't be doing Mariah. So Honey did the right thing by stepping up and saying something when the others all retracted. Now, I'm a little confused by Plastique's reasonings why she didn't really speak up is because she doesn't really know about pop culture that much. She was born in Vietnam and moved over here, I believe, to Texas because she's House of Edwards at 11 years old. Now, I don't want to throw any shade or say anything bad about her. When she was saying this, I said, okay, so you were here in the United States at 11 years old. Was she homeschooled? Did they not have phones, computers, any technology in their homes? Did they ever go out to grocery shop? Because there certainly is music in the grocery stores. There's magazines everywhere, so you're gonna see and hear something. Were they recluses? I'm just really confused why she doesn't know about pop culture up until 3 years ago, and especially since she's House of Edwards. She has Alyssa, Shangela, and Gia Gunn to educate her on this stuff. She works at the bars, and I believe she said pageants. She should know about this stuff. Anyways, enough of that. So Rue wasn't fucking having it with anybody answering their questions like that. So she says to all of them, I would suggest that you all prepare to lip sync for your life. They're all gagged. They go off stage. Then they deliberate. There's not much to say about deliberation. The girls come back because they all have to lip sync for their life. Six queens on one stage. Are they like looking for a lawsuit this season? Something could have gone really wrong. Poked one of these bitches in the eye, or cut one of the bitches in the thigh or the neck or something like that. One of the outfits could have fallen off and people could have tripped all over the place, which I think Honey did trip. And because I think she really did fall off the stage. I don't think that was planned, and I don't think she jumped off the stage. Now, I know it's kind of forbidden to get off the stage since Mimi I first pulled that whole drag contact sport stunt, but where else was she supposed to go? There were so many girls. And yes, her lip sync was a little frantic and all over the place, but I honestly felt the passion in her that she wanted to stay. This is what she wants to do. She wants to be here and fight. I got that from her more than other people. Plastique turned it out. She's House of Edwards. There's bad to say about it, besides she kind of fumbled on a couple words. Scarlet Envy, sorry, looked like another man in a dress because of her makeup. When she did the wig reveal, the wig underneath hairline became pretty awful. That's kind of all you can focus on. And she low-key stumbled on some of those words too. They also gave Sugar Cane a really fucking crappy edit in the lip sync. I couldn't really tell what Akira was doing because she stood in the back most of the time, and Raja was just pretty much trying to steal all the show from everybody else. Now, I know this is a lip sync for your life and you should do that, but I felt like she was doing it vindictively and on purposely, so the rest of the girls wouldn't get any time with Rue. Kind of read a little bit more desperate than Honey in my mind. So then we get to the elimination, and Rupaul says, Shantae, you stay, very slowly and very dramatically. 5 queens, which means Honey had to sashay away. Now, I feel like her runway was way better than Raja's. I feel, honestly, like she stepped up to the plate when no one else did, and I feel like she was robbed, to be honest. Raja was team captain. She should have stood up as well. I also felt, besides Honey's lip sync looking just a little desperate, I felt like Raja's looked very desperate as well. and her runway was not all that great, and that wig was not good. So if anything, it should have been a double elimination, or Raja should have gone home in my mind. But I feel Honey was robbed, and I'm sorry that she had to go home. Only 1 out of 6 girls went home. That must have felt really fucking crappy, and that poor thing collapsed afterwards. I felt so bad for her. So that was episode 3 of RuPaul's Drag Race, season 11. Now, I'm going to do an I Needs to Vent video about Untucked, because we need to talk about Untucked. There is some things that needs to be said. Until then, and until next week, I just want to thank you again for coming to the warehouse to get all your drag fixings with me, Brad, aka your Drama Queen 1014. What did you guys think about this sloppy episode? I really want to know. Let me know in the comments below what you thought about it. Please let us know. And please don't forget to like and share so you can catch up with your Drag Race content with me. Also, it would mean bundles if y'all hit that subscribe button. Thanks for coming out. Toodles.